your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes for a second.
Hi Posh fam, welcome back to my channel, Poshcateyes Unfiltered. Now we're going to talk about episode 17 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I think this is the last episode for the season before we get to the reunion proper. Now, this particular episode was just an interview with Karen Huger, who, as we all know, was released from jail earlier this year, very early or late last year, around September, if I'm not mistaken. Now, she was arrested for DUI charges, and apparently it was the fourth DUI charges or DUI arrest that's been made in her 60 years plus history. And so this time around, there was no escaping consequences for all of her actions. And we're so thankful that no life was lost when she had this accident. And obviously the arrest was made, and we are now having to hear her side of the story post arrest and release. Now, before I get any further, I would just like to say thank you so much for subscribing. For my regulars, thank you for staying on. Please remain on and share this channel with your friends so we can help this channel grow. Now, with that said, let's just get into this particular interview. So we all know she came back home. Like I said, the show needed her. It was unfortunate the show ended just before she was released. So Andy Cohen did what he did best, went in there straight away a week after her release to do this interview. Now, I'm not going to take a lot of her time because there was just a little, there wasn't much, that was said that we didn't really know. She didn't really give us any new information. The only new information that, came across as her not exactly taking accountability per se. Basically, there was a dash cam footage following the arrest. Now, according to Karen, she did not watch this particular dash cam footage. And against her better judgment, she hired good lawyers, but decided not to go with their advice because according to her lawyers said, "We've seen the video. They are damning. You're better pleading your case so you can take a lesser charge and be done with this." According to Karen, she was overwhelmed or feeling untouchable and decided she was going to fight it and did not, according to her, watch this particular dash cam footage. And this is where we are. She felt or took responsibility for her lack of tact, if I would say, if we will call it that. And the consequences of that, again, she got arrested. There was, no denying the facts, and went to jail. She did deny that she was given a plea deal, but she said accountability came during her rehab process because she went to rehab towards the end of the last season's reunion, hence the no-show for last season's reunion. Now, according to her, it was during rehab she was made to sit down and watch this dashcam footage. And upon watching it, the realization sank in and yada, yada, yada. We're here. Andy went for that to, probe a little more to see what exactly she is taking responsibility for. Now, I think this is where everyone would say we're confused because she did say she is addicted to prescription drugs. She didn't tell us which one because according to her, it was against the law to say, okay, we understand. And then pressing further to alcohol abuse. She just went around in circles, not exactly owning up to the fact that she's got an addiction to alcohol. She coined it in a phrase that suited her best. I do not know why, but this is Karen Huger. Karen Huger felt not owning to the alcohol abuse made for some type of release for her. She is not denying the fact that she was under the influence of two things. However, she felt the prescription drugs were given to her. They were being prescribed to her. And for the last 20 plus years, she's been upping her doses. She did blame the prescription drugs on emotional trauma from her past. And the coping mechanism was alcohol abuse. Or she did not say that exactly, but was more the prescription. and the fact that she needed to take more and more to get to the level where she is in a calmer state. Now, this is according to Karen, not in so many words, because she did dance around the world, dance in circles, and he tried his hardest to get this woman to at least take some sort of ownership. Now, this is my take. This is a reality show that prides on alcohol abuse. I'm going to say that quite frankly. And so I feel Karen not admitting to the fact that she, binges on alcohol says a lot about her recovery process. She did admit to this is a journey. So she's already taking ownership for future mistakes. This is what I can see here. So she's taking accountability for the journey that she is on, the sobriety journey that she is on. So this tells me she knows that she is going to relapse with the alcohol side of things. Now, I feel like she is telling herself, I think I have the prescription side of addiction under control because I am not going to have this doctor prescribe this stuff to me. However, because alcohol is going to be my everyday life, I'm going to maybe try and go with moderation. But in the moment, this is a journey for my sobriety. This is what I think. And let's just say we are going to be here to support Karen for all of her many sobriety journeys and relapses that she's going to be going. Quite frankly, there was no accountability on. She did try at the tail end to, not in so many words, say, I am an addicted or I have an addiction problem to alcohol abuse. She did. Again, it was so flippant that if you blink, you would have missed her saying that. So I guess it is not in our place to judge, cast blame, give shame or lay blame. It is an unfortunate situation because according to Karen, while she was in jail, she didn't make it about herself. And the reason she got there, she went on to start helping others. And that is a deflection in itself. She felt it took her six decades to get to this point where she's now in jail. But you got there. And she was asking the younger girls who were there why they are there. Karen, it's not how far, it's how well. It took you 60 years to get to jail. Some have gone there sooner. Maybe they will learn their lessons before they get to 60. But you went there eventually. So you now trying to mentor people. In the way she said it, it came across as very godlike. And that is a problem. And that tells us that, yes, she got caught. Yet, yes, she has paid the price somewhat for her mistakes. There is a question mark on accountability, and there is a question mark on how this, if any impact has been made for future situations that's going to unfold. That is my take. Andy Cohen did address the reunion from last season where the girls had a lot to say about stories they have heard and times they have witnessed her binge drinking. She admitted to some, but didn't really admit to a lot. There was the direct conversation with relations to Wendy because we all know there were issues that arose from Stacey, to between the relationship dynamics with Wendy and Karen. Now, I feel, in my opinion, Karen's a very smart woman. She needs to have a storyline that includes Wendy that will give her some sort of camera time and purpose when she joins us next season. So not addressing the Wendy saga was a strategic way of saying, I'm going to hold on to this story because I'm going to expand on it. We're going to explore this next season. So again, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Do I feel like she's got any beef with Wendy? No, it's flimsy. They are all flimsy at best. I would say this is part of our strategy to have a bit of a storyline for next season. So we're here for it. like I would always say, I am wishing her the best. You know, we all make mistakes, and accountability is a hard one to come by these days. But I hope she finds that sobriety in any way, shape, or form. She's going to choose to find it in her journey according to her to sobriety or living better. But we did say, I don't know if this interview came too soon. I don't know if she had the time to reflect in the time she spent in jail prior to release. And so this was a lot that I felt was missing or lacking in depth, or the particular interview was lacking in depth, or there was just a little bit of deflecting from Karen. But that's it, guys. I'm not going to take too much of your time. It was just a sit down, and this is my personal opinion from this particular sit down. And thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to see if I can run through some of the reunions. I don't like to do the reunions because we all know they are all rehashes of content that I have expatiated on in throughout the seasons. But we will see if there are any tidbits. But I think might be talking about the Wendy's saga. Hopefully she addresses it. I don't think she will address it in details because these are under they're on a gag order because it's a legal matter. So you don't want to incriminate yourself before judgment has been passed or before you go to trial. So again, we'll talk about that when it airs. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next episode and the next show. Bye for now. And remember, you are always deserving.